Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
I've made no secret of the fact that modern Hollywood sucks, and I often find myself rewatching Predator to remember better times. There's another film from Hollywood's golden age that also harkens back to an age when things were much more black and white, and that film is a classic masterpiece, Birth of a Nation. The story revolves around two prominent white families, the Stillmans from the north and the Camerons from the south, and how forced racial integration ends up tearing them and the country they love apart. The arrival of Africans in the country was the first cause of disunion. This is absolutely true. The United States would have been better off if everyone agreed that we should have never given freedom to
the blacks.
I mean, there's all this talk about the alleged suffering of slaves, but you ask me, they had a pretty cozy gig. Think about it. Free food, free board, and a lifetime job out in the open fresh air with plenty of on-the-job exercise. And they got a 2-hour lunch break. 2 hours. When I was a wee lad working at the convenience store, I get the boot if I wasn't back in 15 minutes. Why in the world would you want freedom from that?
Not a great plan.
As the great Kanye said,
when you hear about slavery for 400 years, for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
You see, Kanye's one of the good ones, like Can I Be White Owens and Tyrone Magnus Lensher. The movie also hails from a time before DEI hires plagued every avenue of our society. Several black characters are obviously played by white actors in blackface, because there's no way they'd actually pay one of those people for a role that didn't involve explicit bondage. Absolute cinema. We see how the quest for black freedom tears the nation apart, shown when the Stillmans and the Camerons are forced to fight each other, pitting Caucasians against Caucasians, all so we could get this.
Is y'all people crazy? I bust you and be crazy.
And ever since then, America's slowly being torn from its original owners, the whites. The film pretty much also immediately shows the aftermath of this idiotic plight when a black militia attacks the Cameron home where the women are left vulnerable. And who can blame them for wanting a taste of white females who are superior to Shaniqua in every way? Because that's what happens when a few of us make stupid decisions that everyone else has to suffer for. Instead of turning the women into implausible girl bosses who don't need no man to save them, the movie has a regiment of brave, straight, white male Confederate soldiers arrive to save the damsels in distress. Ah, the glory days. So pure, so pristine, so untouched by the agenda. It also shines upon the hypocrisy of SJWs these days. Everyone's up in arms about Israeli forces bombing food supplies meant for hungry Palestinians, but where was the outcry when the Union stole an entire train with food rations meant for the Confederacy? Oh, woke mob, hypocrisy is thy name. The Confederate troops, led by the last surviving Cameron brother Ben, who's earned himself the nickname Little Colonel, failed to recapture their food due to being hopelessly outnumbered by the Union, who bolstered their ranks with
the blacks.
Kind of like how Democrats couldn't possibly win an election without catering to the same urban demographic with a kernel of their own. Little Colonel finds himself arrested for his heroic deeds and is sentenced to be hanged. Really? We're gonna hang a man for trying to take back food that was rightfully his in the first place, but career criminal George Floyd gets a whole protest? A moment later, the film also shows modern Hollywood how to properly write a true girl boss moment when Mother Cameron shows up at the hospital and pleads with a Union soldier, saying that he may shoot her, but she will see her son one way or another. The soldier, obviously remorseful at the realization he's made a career of being a race traitor, lets Mum through. See, you can write authentic girl boss moments as long as they're rooted in traditional feminine roles like motherhood or making sandwiches. Total trad wife. Mum makes her plea to the other Union race traitors and her son is sent home. But like a true champ, Ben doesn't take it lying down and forms a resistance to the looming Black Doom and establishes one of the most prominent freedom forces in the history of the nation, the Ku Klux Klan. Armed with their pure white robes and hats pointing towards the sacred heavens themselves, the Klan became the true hero of the story. But every hero needs a villain. Silas Lynch, a mulatto, is elected lieutenant governor by rigging elections, which would become a tried and true tactic of Democrats. The South Carolina legislature ends up consisting mostly of
the blacks,
and they pretty much turn it into the set of a rap video at one of their barbarically loud barbecue parties. It's a shame upstanding white citizens weren't allowed to call the police on them. Lynch introduces unpopular laws like allowing mixed marriages and outlawing the Klan. The heroes face an uphill battle, but Ben stays the course, even when his beloved Elsie, race traitor extraordinaire, leaves him because he had the balls to stand up to black tyranny. They forge a true path with the use of several items, including the fiery cross of Scotland's hills. And as a straight white Scotsman, that makes me proud. Ben's sister Flora dies while being pursued by a black thug who wants a taste of the white meat, proving the Klan's concerns to be legitimate. Lynch finds himself lusting after a piece of white meat as well, which could either be his black side admitting white women are superior, or his white side reminding him that they've always been superior. Which is pretty realistic. Every time black men get some money, they wisely dump Shaniqua and get themselves a snow bunny. Also goes for the guys who think they're black. Nice upgrade there, Killer Trav. Unfortunately for Silas, he picks Ben's woman to snack on, and that's about as stupid as sticking it to a Glasgow girl without a rubber.
Not a great plan.
Because Ben won't stand for that kind of jungle fever nonsense, and rides into town with his posse in a glorious tide of white power to show Silas what's what. It's a scene that in my book is right up there with Endgame's final battle.
Assemble.
Absolute cinema. As a matter of fact, the movie was so brilliant that black people, as is their nature, stole the title for a mediocre film of their own, riddled with criticism of white supremacy and embellishments of the atrocities allegedly suffered by slaves. Fake news, of course. Pink-haired Landwells and soy boys these days will call blackface offensive, but in the third act of the film, it serves a brilliant purpose. Klan spies disguised in blackface are able to hear Elsie's pleas and pinpoint where to aim their attacks to save her. In the end, the whites who sympathized with
the blacks
come to realize their folly and unite once again with their heroic brothers from the Klan. Even race traitor extraordinaire Elsie comes around. The blacks are run out of town in a way that resembles a modern ice raid, and even the Confederate Cameron family, who were right all along, are saved. The Klan parades through town in a white wave of wonder, and measures are taken to ensure this madness never happens again. At the next election, the blacks are, shall we say, strongly encouraged not to cast their vote, a smart tactic that should be utilized for future elections. In the end, Phil Stoneman marries Margaret Cameron, and Ben Cameron marries Elsie Stoneman, ensuring that their children will have good genes. And everything is all white. Last call before I close up for the night. The United States is experiencing a rebirth of sorts, with many of the mistakes from the past swiftly and efficiently being rectified. They've given the face of the resistance a modern redesign. So there's hope yet, folks. Hope that the rebels would take the same policies of deporting people who don't look like us, ignoring ridiculous parts of the Constitution, and forcing the judicial branch to kiss the ring, apply these to Hollywood so that the screen may once again be graced by straight white males, free of condescending girl bosses and DI hires. Who knows, if things go well, we might even allow a white female leader to. I ain't feeling positive about it. As a matter of fact, I feel so good I'm gonna go watch Predator, another great film from a better age. Predator. Things are looking up again. Alright, story's over. Get out.